Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be talking about lenses for the Canon R7 and R10. Now, ever since the announcement, I've seen a lot of people complaining that there aren't enough lenses going to be out for these two new camera systems since they are going to be APS-C and on the RF mounts. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about 4 lenses that most of you guys have probably forgotten about. Now, before I speak about those 4 specifically, please keep in mind, because this is an RF mount camera system for both of these units, all of the current Canon RF lenses will fit just fine. And there are a plethora of affordable Canon RF lenses. Canon has done a great job in the last few years making a product line that's under about $700, starting with your 50mm, which is about $200. You've got your 16mm 2.8, which runs about $300. You have your 35mm 1.8, which runs anywhere between $5 and $6, depending on where you find it. And then you also have your 85mm, which runs about $600 to $700. Now, I have said for quite a while that Canon has not only put these lenses out for that affordable price point, but also knowing that they were going to put out an APS-C sensor camera or two moving forward, and they wanted to have nice, affordable prime lens options for those camera systems right out of the gates. You also have your EF lenses using the RF to EF adapter, which most of you will probably end up getting anyway. Ever since getting my R5, I've told anyone else who's on the R or RF platform, get the RF to EF adapter. It's one of the best accessories you can have for your camera because there's so much good EF glass out there that works absolutely amazing on these RF platforms. Now, with that being said, the 4 lenses that I'm going to talk about today are actually meant and designed for Canon's APS-C platforms of the past and should work just as well with the R7 and the R10 using your Canon EF to RF adapter as they did on those previous generation cameras. Now, the first lens we're going to talk about is going to be the Canon 24mm 2.8 EFS Pancake lens, which is by far the most affordable lens that you're going to be able to get for this platform. Because even with the lens and the adapter, you're still going to be under $250. You can find this lens for $130 from Amazon and around $149 pretty much anywhere else that you look. 24mm on these new platforms is going to be a 38mm equivalent to full frame. This was an extremely popular lens on previous APS-C platforms and was kind of like the nifty 50, except it was your nifty 24. Now, moving on from there, we're going to have the Canon EFS 17 to 55 2.8. This is another lens from Canon that was made specifically for the EFS platform, and using your adapter will adapt to your new RFS platform natively, just like it did on previous generation APS-C sensors. The full frame equivalent of this lens is 27 to 89mm. Now, this is a lens that I 100% recommend you don't buy new, as it runs about $879. It's not a great price for an older EFS lens, but you can find it used anywhere from about $350 up to $450 in good shape from places like eBay, Adorama, or any of your other online used camera equipment markets. Now, this specific lens would be a good equivalent of a 24 to 70 that you would have on a standard RF camera in terms of range, since you're going to be getting that 27 to 89mm equivalent. Now, the third lens on this list today is going to be from Sigma, as Sigma made a handful of APS-C lenses for previous Canon systems that were absolutely awesome lenses. And this is going to be the Sigma 50 to 100mm f1.8 DC HSM art lens. It's going to have a full frame equivalent of 81 to 162mm. You can find this lens for right at about $999 brand new, and you can find it used for anywhere between $500 and $600. Now, this is going to be a powerhouse lens on these two cameras because it has a much lower f-stop than anything else available out there and was specifically made for an APS-C platform. And with it being an 81 to 162mm equivalent, you can use this lens more like you would use the Canon 70 to 200. Now, like most of the Sigma art lenses, this was an absolute great lens in low light situations. Lots of people use this lens as well as the next lens I'm going to talk about for lots of that cinematic feel video footage that they shoot, as well as taking absolutely great photos with it. Now, the last lens that I'm going to talk about is probably going to be what I would say one of the best lenses that you can most likely get for these new APS-C cameras, as it's widely regarded as one of the best lenses on all the previous APS-C Canon cameras that have been out over the last 5 or 6 years. And that is going to be your Sigma 18-35 1.8 art lens. This lens is going to be a 29mm to 56mm full frame equivalent and is an absolute low light monster. Anyone who's been in Canon or Sony cameras in the last 6 years knows this lens and knows what it's capable of. Now you're going to be able to take advantage of all the new hardware from these new Canon cameras, combined with how good this art lens already is. Now, the best part about this specific lens is brand new. You can find it for about $649. And it's one that I don't really recommend buying used, as the used versions of this lens don't usually run too much less than what you can find it at new. Now, if you guys have any comments on any of the lenses that I talked about in this video, please post down in the comments below. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about them. If there's any recommendations of lenses that you guys think are going to be good for the R7 and the R10, also let me know about them. Is there an APS-C lens for previous generation cameras that I missed that would be a good option for the R7 or the R10? If so, post it down below. I'm going to have links to any of these lenses down in my description for anyone interested in checking them out further, and I'm going to try to find links to the best priced versions of these lenses. Now, as someone who's super excited by the R10 and the R7 coming out, I absolutely can't wait to see what people are going to be doing with some of these lens combinations on this new platform from Canon. Now, that's going to wrap this video up for now. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, as it helps the video and the channel greatly. Also, if you want to see more camera tech and computer tech related videos, please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that bell notification. That way you get alerts anytime I put out a new video just like this. And with that being said, until next time.